December 5, 1945, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 2:10 in the afternoon. 5 Navy bombers lift off the runway. Routine training flight, clear skies, calm sea, 14 men on board, all experienced, all trained for this exact water. 2 hours in, something changes. A voice crackles over the radio. Flight leader, Charles Taylor. His compass is failing, both of them. He doesn't know which way is west. The ocean below him, an ocean he's flown 100 times, looks wrong, unfamiliar, like it belongs to somewhere else. Ground control tries to guide him home. He argues. He insists they're flying the wrong direction. The last transmission comes in garbled, half a sentence, then static. Nothing after that. No wreckage, no oil slick, no bodies, no black box. Because in 1945 there are no black boxes, only silence, and a search that will turn up absolutely nothing. A rescue plane is sent after them. 13 more men, it disappears too. 27 men, 6 aircraft, gone in an afternoon. And to this day, nobody can tell you what they saw in their final seconds. This is the story of the Bermuda Triangle, a 500,000 square mile stretch of ocean where ships vanish without debris, planes vanish without a distress call, and instruments, compasses, radios, radar, stop telling the truth. Some call it coincidence, bad weather, bad luck. Others aren't so sure. By the end of this video, you'll have the evidence, you'll have the theories. What you do with them, that's up to you. Chapter 1. The Geography of Disappearance. Draw 3 lines on a map, one from Miami, one from Bermuda, one from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Connect them and you get a triangle of open water, deep, warm, and busier than almost any ocean route on Earth. Cargo ships cross it daily, cruise liners, private yachts. Commercial jets fly straight through its airspace without a second thought. Most days, nothing happens. But across 2 centuries, something happens often enough that sailors gave it a name long before newspapers did. The USS Cyclops, a Navy collier, 542 feet of steel, carrying over 300 men and 10,000 tons of manganese ore. It leaves Barbados. It never arrives in Baltimore. No storm reported, no SOS, no wreckage ever found. To this day, it remains the largest single loss of life in U.S. Navy history with no combat involved and no explanation. The SS Cotopaxi, a steamship carrying coal, last heard from with a routine message, taking on water, listing badly, then nothing, for 95 years. Look up the case files, you'll find a pattern that repeats itself with uncomfortable precision. No debris field, no oil slick, no emergency call cut short by static, just cut short, period. Ships built to survive hurricanes disappear on clear days. Planes flown by veteran pilots vanish at mid-sentence. And every time, investigators reach for the same 3 explanations: human error, mechanical failure, sudden storm. And every time, a percentage of cases refuse to fit any of them. Which brings us to the disappearance that put this region on every map in America. Chapter 2. Flight 19 and the Evidence. 2:10 p.m., Fort Lauderdale Naval Air Station. Flight 19 departs on a training exercise, bombing runs, then a return leg home. Standard procedure. Every pilot has flown it before. Lieutenant Charles Taylor leads the formation, combat veteran, over 2,500 flight hours logged. This is not a man who gets lost. 3:40 p.m. The first radio transmission raises concern. Taylor tells another pilot his compass isn't reading correctly. He believes they're over the Florida Keys. He's wrong, and he won't be convinced otherwise. Ground control offers a bearing home. Taylor refuses it. He's certain the instruments are lying and that his own sense of direction is correct. 4 p.m. Weather worsens. Wind picks up. Radio contact grows weaker, more fragmented. Taylor's voice captured in the final coherent transmissions. Entering white water, nothing looks right, don't know where we are. Must have got lost after that last turn. 6 p.m. The last transmission breaks apart mid-word, then the silence that will never lift. A Martin Mariner flying boat, 13 men aboard. launches immediately to search for the missing formation. It checks in once. It is never heard from again. A tanker in the area later reports witnessing what looked like an explosion and a fireball on the horizon, at roughly the time and location the mariner would have been flying. The Navy's official investigation runs for months. The final report lists the cause as, and this is the exact phrase used, cause unknown. Not pilot error, not confirmed mechanical failure, unknown. Search parties comb hundreds of miles of ocean. No wreckage from either aircraft is ever recovered. Not one panel, not one seat cushion, not one body, 6 planes, 27 men. One official verdict, unknown. And Flight 19 isn't an isolated case file. It's the headline entry in a pattern of disappearances where the instruments fail first and the silence follows. Chapter 3. The Theories. Every investigator who touches this case eventually lands on one of 4 explanations. Each one claims to solve it. None of them close the file completely. Theory 1, methane hydrates. Beneath parts of the seafloor here, frozen pockets of methane gas sit under enormous pressure. If disturbed by seismic activity, by shifting sediment, they can release in a sudden burst. The theory, a large enough methane release lowers the density of the water above it. Ships lose buoyancy and sink almost instantly, faster than any distress call could go out. Rising gas could, in theory, ignite aircraft engines mid-flight. It's elegant, it's testable. Laboratory experiments confirm the physics work at small scale. The problem, no one has ever proven a release large enough to sink a ship the size of the Cyclops has actually occurred in this region, at the right place, at the right time. Theory 2, magnetic anomalies. The Bermuda Triangle is one of only 2 places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align exactly, meaning a compass here, technically, tells the truth. Sailors unfamiliar with the region, expecting the usual compass variation, correct their course when no correction is needed, and drift dangerously off track without realizing it. It explains some navigational errors. It does not explain equipment failing entirely or instruments spinning without cause, as multiple pilots have reported. Theory 3, rogue waves and violent, fast-forming storms. This stretch of ocean sits directly in the path of the Gulf Stream, one of the most volatile currents on the planet. Weather here can shift from clear to violent in under an hour. Rogue waves, some over 90 feet tall, have been documented nearby. A wave like that could take down a ship in under a minute, with no time for a radio call and nothing left to find afterward. It's the most scientifically grounded theory. It's also the least satisfying, because it doesn't explain cases with clear skies and calm seas on record at the exact moment contact was lost. Theory 4, the one science won't touch. Some point to reports of compasses spinning without cause, radios producing garbled, unexplainable static in otherwise clear conditions, pilots describing disorientation so complete they couldn't tell up from down, sky from sea. Fringe researchers have suggested electromagnetic disturbances science hasn't mapped yet. Others go further, into territory no serious investigator will defend on the record. Most scientists dismiss this 4th category outright. Correlation isn't causation, they'll tell you. Bad weather and human error explain almost everything if you're willing to do the math. Almost. Finale. Here's what the record actually shows. The U.S. Board on Geographic Names does not officially recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a defined region. Lloyd's of London, the organization that insures nearly every commercial vessel on Earth, does not charge higher premiums for ships crossing it. By the numbers, statisticians will tell you no more ships or planes vanish here than in any other heavily trafficked stretch of ocean. And yet the name persists, because numbers don't explain Flight 19. Numbers don't explain the Cyclops. Numbers don't explain a trained pilot's last words, insisting the ocean beneath him looked like it belonged to somewhere else. In 1974, author Charles Berlitz published a book that turned local sailors' folklore into a worldwide phenomenon, cementing the triangle in the public imagination for good. Films followed, documentaries, an entire genre of speculation that hasn't slowed in 50 years. Skeptics call it a media myth built on selective memory, remembering the disappearances, forgetting the thousands of uneventful crossings. Maybe they're right. But somewhere in the archives, there's still a recording of a man's voice describing water that didn't look like water he recognized, right before the static took him. We still don't know what he saw in those final seconds. Maybe we never will.